Is that true?
No, I wasn't forced. I retired. Damon Bradshaw from McCall, Idaho. You're watching 5 Minutes with Fletch.
So what was your first Supercross win like?
Well, exciting for me because I fell 3 or 4 times that night and was still able to win. Kind of happened towards the end of the main event. I think I made the pass like a lap or a few corners before the finish line. So yeah, it was being my first one and being the first one of the season. It was one that I will always remember. I don't remember all Supercrosses, but I do remember that one.
So it says online that you were forced to retire in 1997 due to injury. Is that true?
No, I wasn't forced. I retired in '97 because we had developed a team between myself and one of my sponsors, Jim Hale at the time, that owned Axo clothing at the time. And so we had kind of come to a conclusion that there was a certain amount of money that needed to make the team operate to go into '98. And we didn't reach that number. So I chose just more or less that it wasn't smart for me to go racing for the amount of money I was going to make. The first year that we did the team, I wasn't worried about making money. I'm like, let's get the team going, let's get it on its feet. When we go to work on the team for '98, we need to be at a certain amount, and if we're not, then and it was absolutely no hard feelings. Jim was a really good guy and very instrumental in my career.
So after you retired, you went to driving monster trucks. Was that to just like keep the adrenaline, or did you want to go try something else?
You know, I was actually approached by a gentleman that was an AMA official when I was racing, and he went to work for the company that was building the monster truck brand. And so he came to me and asked me would I be interested in driving, and so we did. And a couple years later, I ended up with a contract, and then I was there for 11 years. So yeah, I never thought I would have the opportunity to drive monster trucks, nor did I think it would have lasted for 11 years.
So when you started racing as a kid, did you ever believe that you could have been East Coast champion? Because you became a Supercross champion as a kid. Did you believe you could do that?
I think I had kind of decided that around age 13. So, I started riding motorcycles when I was 4. And so obviously not then, I wanted to be the best that I could be. And I think at 13 years old, I decided, okay, I think I have a chance at this. And so we always pushed and raced and traveled. And, my parents spent a lot of money trying to get me to the position, of possibly winning a Supercross. So I think age 13, I decided, all right, let's go for it.
What was the first autograph you ever got?
Actually, his name, let me think about his name. It's on the tip of my tongue here. I remember it. God, what was his name? I know his first name was Tony. I can't think of the last name right now, but it was a local pro at the time, and I remember going and having him sign it. It was actually a piece of newspaper. I couldn't even find some notebook, and he signed the autograph for me, and I took it back to my mom, and I said, I can't read it. It was scribble. And she told me, she goes, well, you're not supposed to be able to read an autograph. So I never forgot that. That's the reason mine doesn't look very good.
So what was it like for you breaking Rick Johnson's race win streak?
I really didn't think about it at the time. When I was leading that night, that I had a chance to break Ricky's winning streak. I really didn't think about it. It was just a matter of winning. And it really didn't matter if it would have been RJ or been any other rider. I was just in the position to win. And so, after that night, people more or less told me and brought that to my attention. But yeah, it was pretty special. And it was obviously at, age 16 years old. So that was, also pretty cool.
Where and when did you meet Michael Jordan?
So I was at a MotoGP at Laguna Seca, and Michael was there, and Brad Pitt was there, and my wife was a fan of Brad Pitt, and I always wanted to meet Michael Jordan, and so a friend of ours, he came walking by, and I saw the area where Michael was sitting. I was like, hey, I said, is there a chance, maybe we could meet Mike? And so we're able to. So my wife got to meet Brad Pitt, and I got to meet Michael Jordan.
So where did the Beast from the East nickname come from?
So actually came from an announcer early on in my career, and he came up with the nickname, and it kind of stuck.
Is there a title you'd wished you'd won?
Yeah, I wished I would have won the 250 Supercross title that I was very close to winning, and just rode really bad in the race that counted, and was not a good night for me. But back to that first autograph, his name was Tony Summey that I got, and it was on a tore out piece of newspaper.
So when you raced, were you more of a Supercross guy or an outdoors guy?
I don't really think I was any better at either one. I liked them both, and during my time we raced some Supercrosses, and then we would go race an outdoor, and then we would come back and race some more Supercrosses. So it was not a complete mixed season, but we didn't ride all Supercross and then all outdoor. So it was kind of different. And by the time Supercross was over, I was ready to go outdoor racing.
So like you do like one Supercross race.
What's that?
So you do one Supercross race,
Yep.
then go do an outdoors race.
Yes.
And then rest of the Supercross season.
And then go back and finish Supercross season. So it was kind of a mixture of outdoor and Supercross at the time.
What was the hardest thing you ever overcome in your career?
Overcame. I was pretty lucky. So injuries really wasn't a thing that I kind of had to overcome. I think being mentally burnt out on racing, for racing for so long. So that was very hard. And honestly, I didn't really got over it until I took some time off. So I took almost 2 years off, and then came back and went racing again. So, and I don't really know why or if I would have changed anything, but that was something that was super hard to overcome, was just the mental burnout.
Thank you for your time.
Racing. Yeah, man.